And they all lived happily ever after. That's really nice. Oh, hi. Just finished another book. This week's book. That's a big one. Wow, look at that. A book a week. That's all we ask. A book a week. Is that too much? My goal every year is to read 50 books. Minimum 50 books. Now, you say to yourself, Mike, that's a lot of books. And I say, well, yeah, I got a lot to catch up on here. I got thousands of books. But that's not the point. It's not how many you have, it's how many you read. My goal, like I said, a book a week, roughly around 50. Back in the day when I had a lot more spare time, and I didn't, when I was really into reading, because I was acquiring a lot of knowledge, and I wasn't really producing other things. I wasn't writing, I wasn't working on websites, I wasn't working a lot of overtime, different things. I had more time, or I managed more time. I read 70, 80, 90 books a year, sometimes 100. That's like 2 books a week. So let's do the simple math, a book a week. Most books are about 300 pages, give or take. So, you got 7 days, 300 divided by 7. That's about 40 to 50 pages a day. If you do 40 or 50 pages a day, let's say you do 50 pages a day times 365, that's 18,000 divided by 300. Yeah, that's 60 books. But some books are 200, some books are 400. You need 40 pages a day. Okay, now you say to yourself, how do I... First of all, you're crazy, a book a week, Mike. Why should I? When the average, when 25% of the entire country haven't even read 5 books a year. 5 books a year. And then 50% of the country doesn't even read 10 books a year. Why are you forcing me? No one told me that I would be have an assignment. I just came on your website to have fun. Well, there's a lot of fun on this website. Hopefully you're being entertained. This is an important thing. The only way that you can stimulate your brain, the only way that you can improve your mind, the only way that you can get smarter, learn new things. I mean, you can do things online. You can watch a little TV. You can read a newspaper, magazines. You can watch, go to the movies. But those are all fun things to do. You should just limit them. Okay, let's ask that. You limited them to how many hours? I have a video called TV or Not TV, and I ask about how much TV you watch. Most people watch 2, 3, 4 hours a day. Okay, let's say you watch 4 hours of TV a day. Cut that in half, cold turkey. Now I just gave you 2 free hours. Can you read 20 pages in an hour? That's like 3 minutes a page. At the end of this video, take a book, read a page, and time yourself. I bet you read about, most people read about 20 pages an hour. Some people read faster, like 30. So let's say the average is 25. 2 hours a day, that's 50 pages a day. 50 pages a day is going to give you a book a week. If you can read a book a week, my goodness, that's a great goal for one. And it's also going to do so many things for you. And read different things. Fiction, non-fiction. Read about historical novels. Read about self-help novels. Read my book once I finally get that thing published. And within the subgenres of fiction, if you like romances, read romances, but read mysteries too, and read science fiction, and read horror, and read literature. Go back and read all those books in high school and in college that you skipped when you should have been reading them. There's great books out there. That's the best way to get your triad in order. Mind, body, spirit. Feed the data. The brain craves data like a computer. Reading is the best way. So, 2 hours is what you need, give or take, a day. And you're like, well, geez, Mike, that's, I mean, come on. Well, think of all the times you have idle time when you're staring into space or when you're doing something else you could be reading. I used to watch the last couple of years when they're showing the Red Sox. Once in a while they show Stephen King in the audience. Stephen King, prolific writer of over 50 novels, and here's a guy who knows how to do a little at a time every single day, and then have leave a legacy of writing. And I'm sure that's how he reads too. In between innings, I've seen him interviewed. He has his novel. He says, I can read 3 pages in between innings, or whatever it was. So he's watching the game, he's at the ballpark, and the end of the inning. Everyone's stretching, going to get peanuts, yabbing at each other. Stephen King, in the midst of 35,000 fans, reads the next 3 pages of his book. And that's the best tip I can give you. I read every morning in the bathroom. When you go to your throne for your sit down, like I talk about with the fan on and you're not being disturbed by anybody, you can get 3, 4, 5 pages in there. It depends. If you have a bad case of the runs, you could read a whole chapter. And that was gross. But you know what I'm saying. Bring your book in there. Take the book with you at work. And I'm not saying to not work and sneak it in there. No, when you take a break. The law tells you have to have a couple 15-minute breaks. So you take your break. Instead of catching up on the latest gossip or working through your break like some people or whatever you do, grab your little healthy bran muffin and your nice green tea and go get a quiet spot and read for 15 minutes. So I already got you 15 minutes in the morning. I got you another 15 minutes, another 15 minutes during your second break, another 15 minutes during your lunch. I got you an hour right there. Okay? Jeez, Mike, I did. Now, you're going to come home and you're going to skip an hour of television and a half hour of that before you go to bed at night. You're going to do your reading again. So now I've got you an hour and a half to 2 hours. You can do it if you want to. You can find the time. People who say they don't have the time to do things, what they're really saying is they don't want to do it. No, Mike, but I really don't have the time. No, you don't want to do it. You have 24 hours in a day just like we all do, and we all have to prioritize the tasks each day depending on how important they are to us. That's what prioritizing tasks means. And every time you get through your to-do list, here's reading. So you can't even see it. That's down here. It's right over here, right next to exercise. Right next to exercise and eating good food, healthy food. So let's get those up there. Exercise, reading, eating the right foods. If you prioritize that time, you can find the time to read. Now, you may not read 50 books a year, but isn't that something to strive for? What if you say, I'm going to do what Mike says, try to read 50 books a year, do all the little things he said, and push yourself and find little 15-minute batches here or there. Be like Stephen King, read it in between innings. Take it to the doctor's office, read it there. Take it in the car when you're waiting for someone. Always have that novel with you. And you did everything, but you ended up, you only read 25 books this year. Do you know if you read 25 books, that you'd be in the top 10% in the country? How would you like to be in the top 10%? That means that 9 out of 10 people don't come near you on that much reading. So, a book a week is all I ask, but if you can come anywhere near that, you're doing better than 90% of the country. That's something to be very proud of. Plus, all the benefits. It's a good thing. Get out there and read. Find a time. I support you. And keep coming back to Live Life 365. Peace.